everyone. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We're back on Unraveled
Mm-hmm.
with Urban Threads,
Mm-hmm.
and we're back to talk about more
Yeah.
new designs.
We have a lot of things on the desk today that I'm really excited to talk about. It's like, where do we even want to start?
New is exciting.
Yes, new. We have these wonderful beanies here that I want to try some of these on, if that's okay.
So the new release that's going to drop at noon today has a set of, we're calling them beanie borders. They're really just borders, but we did take like the time to actually specifically size them and make them work for beanies. So they're actually not a completely standard size. They're a little bit smaller than a standard hoop, but that's because they're meant to be perfectly designed for beanies.
Yeah,
it's beanie time.
It is beanie time. It was so cold in the office this morning. It was like, I'm so bundled up.
I know, last week we were like, it was like 80 degrees outside, and now it's like 50. Michelle is very nicely wearing the beanie because I tried to put on one of these beanies earlier in the morning, and because of my hair, it's like, you're like, shh. Like, it's just, I put it on, our social media director's like, take that off. You can take that off. You don't have to wear.
I still thought it was cute. I have my hair up in a ponytail, so I'm kind of in the same position here as you were. But I love these, and we have the stitch outs for this one here too, with the beautiful blue, like almost an ombre look with the threads. I adore these.
Yeah. So even though the smaller size is specifically sized for beanies, we did just make all the rest of the sizes because why not?
Yeah.
They're just beautiful borders.
Yeah, this would be stunning. Even I could see this on like a shirt cuff or something like that. Just really, really nice moment.
And a lot of these designs are actually remixed from some of our most popular, just regular designs. So if you really like this design, there's a matching larger fern that can go with it if you really love, because it uses these beautiful gradients. I believe these designs go with a beautiful big moon design, but this one we just thought we'd pull the leaves because leaves, autumn.
That's a really nice light stitching design too.
Yes, that was the interesting thing about, so these beanie borders, they kind of just, you'd think on the outside they look like just normal borders, but one of the interesting things we did, I'm going to pull this guy, that we learned when we were stitching on beanies is it really helps to have sort of a tamp down fill underneath the design, because a lot of beanies have this like knit pattern, and if you leave it open it can kind of distort. So all of them actually have a really light fill under some of the more sheer areas just to make it work extra nice on the beanies.
That's so smart. That's so smart. That's such a beautiful look just on the edge of the beanie, and I love all the different lighting designs we have too. This remix of the dragon is so pretty.
I love it. So this dragon is a crowd favorite, and we remixed him into a border. And he gets this big, which is really fun. But yeah, so it's like if you love these beanie designs, a lot of them have sister designs that they came from that will make a really nice matching set.
Yeah, a lot of different options for customization depending on what kind of a project you want to make just within that same design and the different sizes that we offer, which is amazing.
So many different sizes. We have, oh yeah, I love these ones too. These guys, so nice and big. Oh, hello from Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin, hello.
That tamp down also, I don't know how to say, Pathalamundi. It's not going well.
Oh, no.
So from Instagram, a comment said the tamp down will make them good for towels too. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That little tamp down, anything that has a little bit of a knit or like that terry cloth fabric, that kind of little tamp down is really going to help the designs read better on different materials. And these will actually look super cute on the bottom of towels.
On towels. Yeah, they're the perfect size for that hand towel border. Oh my gosh.
That's a really great idea.
Oh, the little one, the little stitch out for this one is so cute too.
I know, it's adorable. It's just leaves, lots of leaves.
Oh, and the big.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Wow.
This is I'm obsessed with.
The metallic thread on that is so pretty
it's
too.
So shiny. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see. So we love adding little metallic accents where it's not going to drive our sewing room crazy. If you guys have worked with metallic thread, you're gonna know that it is a labor of love to get it to work, but it's so pretty when it does.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. Oh, and the ferns too. So we have a sample behind us too of these really beautiful like shimmering ferns on this cardigan, which I love.
Yeah. So this week's new release isn't just about the beanie borders. We have a couple other ones. So this beautiful ombre fern design. This almost looks like it's stitched and variegated.
Yeah,
But
it really does.
It is not. This is a beautiful trick of our artist. This one of our artists, Nicole, does really great things with just light stitching designs and color blending amongst the thread. Ooh, good morning from Colorado, says Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning, Kathy.
So it's just, I just love the colors on this. And so as the sample, I thought this looks so cool.
Yeah.
As just kind of like a nice accent piece. So a lot of the designs today are just really, really great for apparel, for autumn stuff, but I just love how big they get.
Yeah. And we have all of the different sizes of this one here as well. So you can see how many different sizes we test these out.
So many.
We cover all of our bases to make sure that what you're getting is something that will work well, which is important to all of us.
Yeah. And I love how some of these designs, even though, you know, they're relatively quick stitching, but they work really great for sweaters. Speaking of.
Yes, it is sweater weather here.
Sweater weather.
We were
It's
talking
sweater weather.
sweater weather. We were talking last week about how warm it was, and then all of a sudden it cold snapped.
Yeah,
and
everybody
today
came
we're
into the
all-
office and we're like, oh, it's so cold.
So we've grabbed a bunch of our beautiful sweaters, and this one we have the stitch outs for too. But look at how pretty this one is.
That's so classy.
I love putting the embroidery on the sleeves too. It's such a nice accent to add to something so comfy. Just that little bit of extra.
And it's not too difficult to do. So you can't even really tell. Our makers are so good. But in order to do this, all you really need to do is like open the seam of a sleeve, and then you hoop it, open it, hoop it flat, stitch it, and then you just stitch it back shut, and you can't ever tell that it was open, but it's a really easy way to add customization. And that design actually has both a feature, which is kind of this wider one, and then a tall border. So these two go together. They're kind of a matching set, but they're just kind of really beautiful and classy. And of course, those also get much larger sizes, which is really cool.
Another beautiful example with that metallic thread and combined with the purples. It's so royal. I love it.
This is so fancy. So fancy.
I'm looking at my like empty sleeves and I'm like, what can I
Yeah,
put on
why
here?
are you not wearing embroidery today?
I'm
Michelle?
scoping out my options.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see how this one would look. Let's just like,
Ooh.
it was probably too
Maybe
big.
a little. That's like a big sleeve.
Just, I mean, on white too, that's an interesting thought. This would look completely different on white.
Yeah. Playing with the fabrics behind these can totally change like the energy that they have in such amazing ways. Like, oh, it would really, really shimmer on white.
Oh, and the lavender features they're only 3 color changes, I believe. So we have
nice.
gold, 4, I think. We have a main gold, 2 purples, and a little light stitching design. So they're really, really pretty quick to stitch.
Oh, that's awesome.
And, well, speaking of sweater weather.
We both have piles of fun things to show.
Yeah, so one of the things that's really fun about working here is we get to make so much cool stuff in order to kind of show off the designs, but then they kind of just never get their day. After we've taken the beautiful photos, they sort of just sit sad. So I went and raided our warehouse today, and I went and tried to pull up a whole bunch of our really fun sweater samples because it's just, it's the season, right?
Oh, yeah. And this one is so soft and fluffy. I love this one.
This is actually an embossed design, but kind of just like a silly twist on emboss. So it's get in loser. And then when you see the stitching, the kitty is left open to fabric. So he gets to be fluffy and completely ridiculous. I love this design so much. I love the sweater so much.
I know, I want all of this. If this disappears, it's not my fault.
It's in the warehouse. Yeah, it's so pretty.
Oh, and under this, I actually made this sample.
Did you?
Yes, I did. This, when I was first hired, I was doing a lot of samples for makers too, and this was one of the ones that I got to make.
That
This
one's so beautiful. That's
very beautiful, like octopus design.
It's a cool example of how one design, when mirrored, can make this like really big, dramatic moment.
Yes, yes.
A jacket or a hoodie. That's really cool.
It's a fun way to divide a zipper hoodie like that and just give it a little personality on each side. Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah. I have a couple ones. This is actually a much older sample, but this is the same kind of thought. So this is, let's see if we can see this properly. I know. Hello, Cindy. Hello, and online. And then I want to snuggle that kitty sweater, says Meredith.
Yeah, me too.
I know, it's so fluffy. So this design is kind of the same thing. This is a jacket, a bomber jacket, that actually still stitches really nicely with even a pretty heavy design.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just a nice, bold, dramatic moment to wear. And then another one that this came out fairly recently. I think this is the last couple weeks, and I don't even really feel like the photos showed off all the amazing work our makers did on this jacket. But this is a leaf.
Feather.
Oh my gosh.
I
I always get the word. I always say, bird feathers and leaves for some reason reverse themselves in my brain all the time. But this beautiful moment. So this is actually, this part is one design, and then these are separations in different sizes. And so our maker just kind of did this really beautiful cascade moment. It goes all the way down here with the main design, and then very carefully placing the separations to create this super dramatic effect on the back of the jacket.
It's so beautiful just flowing down the back, and I love this one too.
I know. I feel like this one, I love the photo we took of it, but it's like sometimes it's just like one photo is not enough to show how cool these things look in person. So we're just gonna have to have people walking around the office wearing them all the time.
Yeah. Ooh, I have another back of the jacket moment over here too. This beautiful rose. I love big designs on the back of jackets like this.
Yeah, so that's a great example. That's a large format design. So this is a non-traditional standard hoop size, but some of you guys that get the nice fancy new machines, this is a really big jacket back size that is now offered on some machines, and we decided to see what it's like to make some of our designs that big, and it's really fun. Kevin Cooper says, hey, how are you? How are you doing, Kevin?
Hello, Kevin.
So those large
very
format ones,
cool.
they just make such a cool statement on the back of clothes.
Yeah, that's actually a good point about the feather sweater we were just looking at. Is with a smaller hoop, you can still do that cascade moment even if you don't have a big hoop. You can have a big embroidery design.
That's true.
You just segment it up.
Yeah, we just got to hoop a couple different designs. But it is nice to just be able to hoop one and be done.
The simplicity of a big hoop is alluring for sure.
It is very alluring, for sure. This is another favorite that I had for sweater weather. So we did a series of kind of snarky sweater designs last year, and this one is my personal favorite because my husband likes football. I didn't know anything about football when we got married, and so when he said fantasy football, this is kind of what I thought he meant. I was super disappointed to find out that this is not what fantasy football is.
That's what fantasy football should be, I
This
think.
is what fantasy football should be.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, yeah, it should be about dragons and unicorns, and I was very disappointed. I was not nearly as into football after he explained what fantasy football was to me. But that's kind of a really fun sweater moment. And this is the kind of thing that I'm like, if I need to go to a football game, I'll just wear this and see if anyone notices.
Yeah. Well, you'd probably make some friends who also wanted fantasy football to be that way too.
I know, this should just be what fantasy football is.
Yeah.
Do you have any more?
I went through my whole
all
pile.
our sweater sample. We have more in the back, but this is what I had to pull out within like 5 minutes before shooting.
You came in with like a big pile of sweaters. So I was like, whoa, yes.
We're going to talk about sweaters today.
Well, it's so fun to see the samples because I think for both of us, we're both busy around the office and we don't get to see and touch everything that comes through. So being able to like
Bring it
it back out and really appreciate it like up close in person is really great.
I just need to make sure I actually put it back and not make a mess, or they will come for me because
Yes.
it was so nice and organized back there.
I will fold them up nicely. I have a pile here.
Yeah, we'll put them back real nice.
Will be good.
Other things happening this month is still the costume contest is still going on. We're getting closer and closer to Halloween. It's officially October now, so it's like official panic month for making your costume.
Yes, it's the emergency zone.
Yeah, it's like this is that, you know, the crunch time when your brain is like, I've got plenty of time. I've got all September, and I'm like, oh no, it's October.
Yeah.
No, it's October.
That second week of October is when the hot glue starts coming out. So
Yeah,
gotta
I have
start this
definitely
week.
hot glued a lot of things to my fingers and burned off my fingerprints before in an attempt of making a costume.
I think we've all lost some fingerprints along the way trying to do our crafts.
Yes, but we started getting some entries in the costume contest. It's so fun to see what people are already making, and I'm a little jealous about how ahead of the curve they are, that they already have their costumes done. But the costume contest is open until the day after Halloween. So if you are a procrastinator, as long as you have it done for Halloween. If you didn't get it done for Halloween, that's kind of on you. Like then you're really, really late.
We can own that.
Yep. But all the way through end of October, and the first place prize is $100 gift certificate to UT.
You can make so many more costumes
So
with that.
many
I wish I could enter because that's an enticing prize.
Nope.
Nope,
You
I
can't.
can't.
You cannot. Oh, it's Thanksgiving in Canada next weekend?
Oh.
I didn't know that. Oh, and Cindy says, I have a very large hoop, 11 by 18. I'd love to see more designs in the area. So yeah, it's great, Cindy. Like, it's so cool to make designs for these larger ones. We try and scale them up as much as we can when they work. Not everything is going to work. Like, annoyingly, like satin designs have a max that they'll go.
Yeah.
And so there's certain designs, but we are so excited to offer more of those. And if we start seeing that a lot more people are wanting them, we'll definitely start doing as many designs as we can in a large format.
Yeah, definitely.
Our sewing room will get a little mad at us because it's like one more size we're asking them to sew. But it's so worth it because they're so pretty. Okay.
We also, did you want to talk about, we can talk about the badges.
Yes.
So last week we talked a little bit about the merit badges that we had been releasing week by week. And now you can get them all together. We have them in one pack for you. So if you've experienced the gamut that merit badges run and you want to celebrate that, we have them all together for you guys now, and you have the samples here too. There's so many.
Yeah, so we did hear from a lot of you. So these were a free gift with purchase. We had 2 different ones every single week, but a lot of you might have missed a week or 2, and a lot of you were like, when are we going to be able to get the badges? We really want to be able to buy the badges. So if you did miss them, this is now your chance. You can now buy them, the ones you missed, or if you just want to grab the whole thing, we now also have them in a pack. So these ones are particularly hilarious just because they really were just inspired by all the things that happen around the office. I think one of the best ones is we have a ran out of bobbin one, but somebody else described it as playing bobbin chicken.
Yes.
Just such a good, like, how far can you go in your project before you're like, it's not going to run out. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going.
It is so satisfying to win that game though and have like this much thread left. You're like, yes, I used it all.
Yeah, that is really, really good. So yeah, merit badges. And it's funny because like we love talking about it's Halloween, it's spooky season, it's sweater weather. But one of the funny things about working in this design process is I wonder if you guys know how long it takes us between deciding on a concept and actually getting on the website. I don't know if anybody has a guess out there as to how long you think it takes. What do you think a normal person would think?
Oh, I mean, I have inside information.
No, I was like, I can't have you guess. So basically, while it's Halloween Town, we are fully also in Christmas Village. So the time it takes us between picking a concept and roughing it and drawing it and finalizing it and handing it to our digitizers, and they digitize it, and then they sew out one size, and they check all the colors, and then we decide, nope, we're going to change all those colors, and then they sew it again, and then they make all the sizes, and then it goes to formatting, and then it goes to like making packs and all the different types of designs, and then it goes to our makers who make samples with all the designs, and then that goes to our photography crew who has to take photos of all those, and then all the designs also need to be scanned to go on the website. And then all that needs to be put together to launch on the website. So I believe for production, Kathy thinks 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2
Oh,
weeks.
Kathy, if only we could do that in only 2 weeks. That would be so nice. It takes about 11 weeks to go through production, and then it takes about another 2 to 3 to go through marketing. So we are fully celebrating Halloween, but in the office, it is Christmas time.
Yes.
We are fully into all Christmas designs, all the way into, the season. So it's a little bit jarring sometimes when you want to be like, so we're kind of like those little like Nightmare Before Christmas elves. We're like, making Christmas, making Christmas. Because we're all like in Halloween season, but trying to think about Santa Claus instead at the same time.
Well, that's, I guess, from a production standpoint, another reason why it's fun for us to show these upcoming new releases off to you guys, because our brains are 11 weeks
11
in a
weeks
different
past
direction.
this. Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it is fall time. It's Christmas in my brain, but it's fall in real life.
I know. It's like, it's by the time these things come out on the website, sometimes we're almost like, oh my gosh, I forgot I drew that.
Yeah.
Because it's like so far away from the last time that we touched it because we're in art and a little bit in digitizing. So
Yep.
I keep touching my mic. I hope that's not messing up the sound. I'm so sorry. Cindy thought a month. That's definitely much closer, but it's longer than that.
That's a good guess though, Cindy.
Yeah, it does seem like this stuff shouldn't take that long, but when you really think about all the different steps it has to go through, and I suppose if we sped it up a little bit, but then we'd lose the quality, you know, of having enough time to, you know, get the concept right, get the colors right, get all the sew outs right, and then get it up on the website in the way we wanted to present it to you guys. So from the outside, it probably just like poof, designs. Boy, it's a lot of work on the back end.
Yeah, there's a lot of like teamwork and handing off at each stage, and like each stage of that process makes sure it's the best it can be in that stage. So art is very dedicated to making sure the art is good, and digitizing is very dedicated to digitizing, et cetera, et cetera.
So the people here care almost too much.
Yeah, yes, everyone cares a lot.
At some point, we have to be like, you guys, you have to just gotta look. It's good. It's good. You don't need to fix that one little color. But it's why our designs are so good. Like everybody here just cares so much and has so much pride in what they do. Like all the way from, you know, beginning to end of the process. Everybody just really, really loves contributing and caring, and that's really cool. It's why it's really fun to work here.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Because we could just crank them out and churn out a ton of designs, and we do. We still make a lot of designs because it's about 20 for the whole company. It's about 20 on EL and usually 7 to 8 on UT, and so that's like 30-ish designs a week.
Yeah.
And then you times that by 4, like that's a lot of designs.
Yeah. Plus all the sizes that we test in different stages, that number expands so much through production.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Because if you think about 30 designs a week, and then each design is like 5 sizes. Cindy asked, how long did it take you to learn the digitizing process?
Oh my gosh. Well, I just went through digitizing classes here for the first time, and those first few classes are about 6 weeks, and that's just to get you the foundational like knowledge for any of this. It takes years to master.
Yes. So we have a lot of our artists that start cross-training. We used to have people that were just in art and then just in digitizing. But we found that the artists just make a lot different choices when they know some of the basics about digitizing. So we had one of our head digitizers. Internally, we call it Digitizing University because it is like, it's a class. You have homework. You got to do all kinds of stuff to learn digitizing. But I've actually not gone through Digitizing University. I'm like one of the last people to do it.
You'll have your turn. It's interesting from an art perspective because I do work in art. So learning digitizing, it definitely influences some of the choices that I make as an artist, where like, oh, I would really like to have this leaf or this line go this way, but for digitizing that would be really hard. So it's a whole new way of thinking that's been really informative.
Yeah, it really can change how you draw as an artist, and even me, just because at least I've been working here so long, I know some of the things I'm not supposed to do, and you really think like as an artist, you're like, oh, I'll just draw this beautiful 2D piece of art, but how that translates into stitches with density and all the different kind of cool 3D things you can make, because like embroidery is really a 3D art. It's not just 2D, it's not a 2D art. You have dimension, you have density, you have warping if you do it wrong. Like it's a whole art form. So, you know, it's been interesting as a new artist. No, you're not really a new artist anymore. But when you were first as a new artist, I don't know how much of a trip that was in your brain, having to think about like, it's not just about making it pretty.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely took me a few weeks to kind of plug that new part of my brain in and be like, okay, so this, I can't just do a million lines because that would make everyone very sad. So.
Yeah, no, it looks really pretty. And that's like one of the things as a creative director and art director, when I'm looking at art every day, sometimes I have to be like, this is so pretty, but it's not going to work in stitches. I'm so sorry. And so yeah, it's a really interesting learning curve. And you know, as you come into it at first, it just seems like you just make art, and then you send it to digitize, and they hit the digitize button, and then it's done. But there's just so much more to it than that.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but the way that I like to think about your position and like me as an artist with you reviewing it is that we're on like a big beach, and I'm bringing you rocks, and sometimes you're like, yes, that rock is really pretty, and sometimes you're like, oh, please put the rock back.
It's so shiny. You sound like I'm either you or I are a raccoon that lives on the beach, that like shiny things.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it's just like sometimes, most of the time, everything the artist draws it's beautiful. And the only reason we have to change it or say no is mostly because it just isn't going to technically work. And so yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's a very pretty rock.
Yeah.
You brought me a very pretty rock, but that rock will be a pain in everybody's butt.
Yeah, we can't polish that one.
Can't polish that
Find
rock.
a different one.
Go with a different rock. That's so funny. I'm gonna have that in my head now every time I have to review art. Okay, so we have another really fun, exciting thing to talk about. For the first time ever, we are actually going to send a small crew to a sewing expo.
Oh.
We don't go to these things like ever, but we're kind of excited to go to one of these things just to really kind of get a feel of what what these kind of experiences are like, and a lot about meeting the people that go to these kinds of things.
Yeah.
So the expo we're going to is called the Original Sewing Quilt Expo in Ohio. And we're so excited. We're going with, I'm going, and then a team of 2 other people, Sammy, who is on the other Facebook Live, and then our head of production, Rachel. And so if you want to try and find us at the expo, we did make these sweet jackets.
Oh, they're so
So
pretty.
we each picked, it was kind of fun because we have these jackets, we each picked our favorite design to go on the back, and we all picked really, really big ones. But then on the front, you'll be able to see that we've got, where did it go? Here it is. We've got our little logo. So we're not going there as a vendor, we're just going there as guests. But we're gonna be so excited to walk around. We're sending Rachel to go to a ton of classes so she can like see what the maker experience is like. But if you see our jackets and if you see us walking around, please come up to us, say hi. We might even have a little bit of something nice to give you. And we also, this is super, super exciting because we've been talking a little bit with the expo people, and they have let us set up a meet and greet table. And so we just officially confirmed it's going to be on Friday at 2:30. We're going to be inside the exhibit hall. There will be a table that has the Embroidery Library and Urban Threads logo, and we will be hanging out there. So if you want to come hang out with us and meet us and also come get a nice little goodie from us, come say hi. I'm so excited about this.
That's going to be so fun.
Yeah, so we'll also try and go live a little bit from the expo and talk about
Nice.
the experience, but we're just super excited to go to one of these things because we live in our little office all the time and we don't get to really interact with other sewers and makers and customers.
Yeah.
And so if you guys are in, it's kind of in it's in Cincinnati. So there's kind of right on the corner of 3 different states. So if you happen to be heading to the Cincinnati Expo, come see us, come find us, look for the jackets, look for the giant, we're kind of like what's that crew from the pink ladies?
The pink lady?
From Greece. But they all have the jackets.
I'm so sorry. I just abandoned you. I was like, who are the pink
I'm like, yeah, I can't remember. We're gonna be like a little club with our little matching jackets and everything rolling around the convention center. It's gonna be so fun. Cindy is asking, is your office ever open to a mini tour? Oh, hello from Australia. Hello, Australia. We don't really ever do tours.
We haven't before.
You know, we're very just we're just a little office in Plymouth, and are we officially in Plymouth? We're near Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Minneapolis,
Minneapolis
Minnesota.
area.
We're in Minnesota, where it's almost always cold. But we've never really done tours or anything like that. We don't have a lot of customer-facing things, but it'd be really cool to find more ways to interact with customers.
Yeah,
I think.
definitely.
I mean, it's kind of part of the live, but we can't see you guys.
Yeah.
We can only see your lovely comments online. So yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to think about if there's ways we could meet more people or have them come meet us or see where we work or see all we do.
Or even different ways to share, I guess, parts of our office, because our sewing room is really cool. I would want to show our sewing room.
Kind of loud.
Yeah, it is a bit loud.
It's a bit loud, but it is very, very cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that come here are always like a little bit like, whoa.
Yeah, because we have this giant thread wall of all of our different colors, and
You guys would be so jealous. Our thread wall is amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's so nice. If you're a maker, if you're a sewer, you see the amount of colors that we have. Oh, it's so fun. But okay, well, so Ohio, come visit us. Good morning, Frisbee Bee. Good morning. Yeah, so these new designs, these new beanie borders, and some of our other accessorizing designs are going to drop around noon today on the website. Go look for them. Go grab your
my
patches.
Oh, yeah.
I stole your beanie.
Oh,
Your other beanie.
Yeah,
I
my
don't know
other
where it
beanie.
went. It's hiding under the jacket.
Yeah, I hid
It's
it
fine.
under the pile of warm things.
Yeah. If you missed your badges, they're now available to buy. So make them, give them out for all your friends that mess up their projects just like we all do. And otherwise, we will see you soon.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Have a good
Bye.
Friday.